but underneath, it's a doorway. It's an invitation for closeness without forcing her to expose herself emotionally too fast. This kind of phrase also gives her an escape route if she senses pressure or if the vibe changes. If you respond respectfully, calmly, and without turning it into a crude moment, she feels safer and more attracted. But if you react like you just won something, you instantly destroy the emotional atmosphere she's trying to create. The key point is that women often communicate desire through permission and proximity rather than explicit sexual language. And the men who understand this are the ones who don't miss the moment. A second thing many women do when they want to sleep with you is they start using language that gives you emotional access, not just physical access. And this is where a lot of men get it wrong because they're waiting for something sexual when what she's actually doing is creating intimacy. She might say something like, "I feel really comfortable with you," or "I don't usually feel like this with people," or even "you're different." Now, on the surface, that can sound like a harmless compliment, but psychologically, it's much bigger than that. When a woman says she feels comfortable with you, she's signaling safety, and safety is one of the strongest predictors of sexual openness. It means her nervous system is relaxed around you. It means she's not on guard. And for many women, that relaxed state is what allows desire to intensify. This sentence also works like a test. She's watching whether you respect the emotional moment or whether you cheapen it. If you immediately turn it sexual, she may feel exposed, even embarrassed, because she offered you vulnerability first. But if you respond with warmth, steadiness, and emotional maturity, you deepen the connection. And that deepened connection often becomes the bridge into physical intimacy. This is why emotionally intelligent men are more attractive than men who only rely on confidence or looks. Because when she says, "I feel comfortable with you," she's not just complimenting you. She's opening the door to closeness, trust, and the possibility of something physical without having to say it directly. A third thing a woman will often say when she wants to sleep with you is something that sounds like a simple observation, but it's actually a very intentional invitation. She might say, "It's so quiet in here," or "It's nice being alone with you," or even, "I like this." And most men completely underestimate how meaningful that is. Because when a woman highlights the atmosphere, she's not just commenting on the environment. She's confirming that she's aware of the intimacy in the moment and that she's enjoying it. Psychologically, this is her way of slowing time down. It's her way of saying, "Don't rush, don't break this, stay right here with me." When a woman wants physical closeness, she often becomes more present. Her voice may soften, her pace may slow, and her words become less about facts and more about feeling. These kinds of sentences are subtle signals that she's emotionally and physically tuned in. She's also checking your emotional intelligence. If you respond by getting awkward, making a loud joke, or shifting the energy too fast, you break the intimacy she's trying to build. But if you respond calmly, hold eye contact, and stay grounded, you deepen the moment. This is important because desire often grows in silence and tension, not in constant talking. So when she says something like, "It's nice being alone with you," she's telling you she wants the moment to stay private, close, and intimate. And that is often the psychological doorway right before things turn physical. A fourth thing a woman will often say when she wants to sleep with you is a sentence that sounds like a question, but it's really a soft form of permission seeking. She might say, "Is this okay?" or "Can I?" or "Do you like this?" And a lot of men misread it as insecurity, when it's actually something much deeper. Psychologically, when a woman is attracted and moving toward physical intimacy, she becomes highly aware of emotional safety. Even if she wants you, she still wants to know you're emotionally present and not just operating on impulse. These questions are her way of checking that you're tuned in, respectful, and responsive. It's also her way of maintaining control without killing the mood. She's creating a dynamic where intimacy is mutual, not taken, and that's what makes her feel safe enough to go further. This kind of language also reveals something important. She's already engaging physically or emotionally at some level. She's already in the moment with you. She's not asking these questions from a distance. She's asking them from inside the connection, and the way you respond matters. If you dismiss it, laugh, or act impatient, she may pull back instantly. But if you respond gently, confidently, and reassuringly, you build trust in real time. That trust doesn't just make her more comfortable. It often intensifies her desire. Because for many women, the most arousing thing isn't aggression. It's a man who is calm, emotionally aware, and safe while the tension is rising. A fifth thing a woman will often say when she wants to sleep with you is a sentence that sounds casual, but it's actually a very clear emotional signal. She'll say something like, "Arwekor ir a war." I'm not trying to be crazy, but, or, this is going to sound random, but, or even, I don't normally do this. And men usually hear those words and assume she's being dramatic or overthinking. But psychologically, this is one of the strongest indicators that she's about to cross a personal boundary in a way that feels exciting and risky for her. When a woman is strongly attracted, she often experiences a conflict between desire and self-image. Part of her wants to move closer, and another part is trying to protect her dignity, her reputation, or her emotional safety. So she prefaces the moment with a sentence that reduces the pressure. It's like she's saying, "I want this, but I don't want to feel judged for wanting it." This kind of phrase also reveals she's self-aware. She knows the moment is shifting, and she's trying to manage how it looks and feels. The mistake many men make is responding with something crude, overly sexual, or too intense. That makes her feel exposed. The smarter response is calm reassurance and emotional steadiness. Because when she says, "I don't normally do this," she's not asking you to convince her. She's giving you a vulnerable green light, and she wants to know you can handle it with maturity. A sixth thing a woman will often say when she wants to sleep with you is something that sounds like a small request, but it's actually a powerful invitation. She'll say, "Come sit next to me," "Nyao," or "Come here," or even something softer like "Get closer." And what makes this so important is that it's not a flirtatious comment from across the room. It's a shift in physical positioning. Psychologically, when a woman wants intimacy, she stops communicating only through words and starts communicating through proximity. She wants you in her space. She wants your presence to feel close, warm, and immediate. This kind of phrase is often used because it feels safer than being sexually direct. It doesn't force her to say anything explicit, but it still moves the moment forward. It also gives her control over the pace. She's choosing the closeness, not having it taken from her. And for many women, that sense of choice is what allows desire to rise without anxiety. This is also where men either succeed or fail. If you hesitate too much, act nervous, or make it into a joke, the moment loses momentum. But if you respond calmly and naturally, and you move closer without turning it into pressure, the tension deepens. The sentence, "come here," is often the beginning of everything, because it's her way of saying she wants the moment to become more intimate, more private, and more physical without having to announce it outright. A seventh thing a woman will often say when she wants to sleep with you is a sentence that sounds like a simple emotional confession, but it carries a very specific kind of tension underneath. She'll say something like, "I'm really attracted to you," or "you're turning me on," or the softer version, "you're making it hard for me to behave." And what's interesting is that even when she finally becomes more direct, she still often frames it in a way that protects her vulnerability. She's not saying it like a demand, she's saying it like a reveal. Psychologically, this is a major step because most women don't verbalize attraction unless they already feel emotionally safe. By the time she says this, she has likely been feeling it for a while, but she's been watching your behavior, your self-control, and your respect. This sentence is also a test of how you handle power. If you respond with arrogance, crude jokes, or you immediately push for more, she may instantly regret saying it. But if you respond with calm confidence and warmth, you deepen the emotional intensity. And that emotional intensity is what often turns into physical intimacy. The key is that she's giving you a clear green light, but she's also watching whether you can stay grounded while receiving it. Because when a woman says, "I'm really attracted to you," she's not only expressing desire, she's trusting you with her desire. An eighth thing a woman will often say when she wants to sleep with you is a sentence that sounds like she's trying to be responsible, but it's actually her giving you a final, unmistakable invitation. She'll say something like, "So, what are we doing?" Or, "What happens now?" Or even, "Are you going to kiss me or not?" And this line matters because it usually shows up right at the edge of the moment, when the tension has already built, when you're close enough to feel it, and when she's ready for something to happen but doesn't want to be the one to force it. Psychologically, this is her way of shifting the responsibility slightly onto you while still staying in control. She's not asking because she's confused. She's asking because she wants you to lead, but in a respectful way. This sentence also protects her vulnerability. If you reject her, she can pretend it was playful. If you respond well, she can move forward without feeling exposed. The mistake men make is either freezing, overthinking, or suddenly becoming overly aggressive. The correct response is calm confidence, a little warmth, and emotional presence. Because when she says, "What are we doing?" she's basically saying, "I'm ready. I just need to know you can handle this moment like a man, not like a boy." At the end of the day, the biggest mistake men make is waiting for a woman to announce desire in a blunt, obvious way. Most women don't communicate attraction like that. They communicate it through safety, proximity, emotional permission, and subtle invitations that allow them to stay protected while still moving the moment forward. When she wants you, she rarely says it like a demand. She says it like an opening, a doorway, a chance for you to step in with maturity, restraint, and emotional intelligence. And that's the real lesson here. It's not about memorizing lines or hunting for magic words. It's about understanding what those words represent. Comfort, trust, consent, vulnerability. Because when a woman is